The Crocus Plains baseball program began in 1998 when organized high school baseball in Manitoba was just in its infancy. Early in the 2000s, Coach Rick DeGagne and assistant Darren Hardy were able to develop good players who had come from Brandon Minor Ball. By 2003, Crocus had a solid team, and over the next 4 years, they won 69 games and lost only 8. They won the provincial championships in 3 years and losing the final in the 4th. At provincials, the overall record was 18 wins and 2 losses. The 2005 team were especially impressive. The 2005 team went undefeated, winning both the Prairie West High School Baseball League title and the provincial championship tournament. This was the first one ever sanctioned by Manitoba High School Athletics Association. There were 3 players part of all 4 teams from 2003 to 2006. Eric Truscott, Brent Perrin, and Brock DeGagne. Provincial All-Star players over the years were Matt DeGagne, Keith Van Wallingham, Zach McMillan, Carson McMillan, Kirk Graham, Eric Truscott, and Brent Perrin. I'd like to congratulate the Crocus Plains Plainsmen 2003 to 2006 on their induction into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame. Jordan Campbell, Keith Van Wallingham, Matt Pugh, Brent Perrin, Evan Goldie, Bryden Bardell, Brock DeGagne, Kirk Graham, Matt DeGagne, Coach Darren Hardy, and Coach Rick DeGagne. I'll call up the coach, the captain, to come provide their spots.
I'm on the basketball referee, and of course, coaches aren't surprised. Good evening. I'd like to begin with giving congratulations to the individuals and the other teams being inducted this evening. It is an honor to be a part of the 2025 Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame class with you all. I don't have many stories, but I shouldn't do this, but I'm going to go a little bit off script. You know, you listen to the Clayton family, the Andrews family, you hear the Gladwin Scott, the Scott's family, the Robertsons were up here, the Kirkham family, and honestly, I just am so blown away, really, with the number of years, the experience, the knowledge, the stories, the history that these people bring to our event this evening, and it's so truly impressive. I don't have many stories. You don't want to hear all my time stories dealing with a bunch of high school kids. But I do have a number of acknowledgements and thank yous. First will be to Gladwin Scott, who put forth our nomination, assisted by Ty Tracy. Gladwin, we truly do miss you. Being the first high school team to be inducted into the Manitoba Baseball Hall of Fame, I have to thank the past administration at our school, Crocus Plains Regional Secondary School. Principal Rob Bend provided much support as the team first hit the field in 1998, as did Barry Gooden afterwards. There were many Crocus Plains staff members who were also essential in helping me organize the team, tournaments, and the 2 provincial championships that we hosted in Brandon. Their efforts were always appreciated by the coaches and the players. Thank you to all the parents over the years for supporting and trusting the coaching staff. There were many difficult and at times unpopular decisions to be made, as many of you coaches realize. I'd like to thank Darren Hardy for spoken earlier. Whatever I needed or asked for, Darren was there and was an unbelievable support and resource, and he brought a lot of coaching knowledge as well. I'd like to recognize and thank the efforts of the Plainsmen players from earlier years, 1998 to 2002. We had some enormous growing pains for sure, as the team culture that I envisioned gradually evolved. These student athletes helped me in my goal of trying to become a better coach, even though not everyone was a fan of some of the quirky, what the hell is he serious talking, what is he talking about rules. However, apart from these expectations, most players bought into the approach. The great activist and politician Nelson Mandela once said, "I never lose, I only win or I learn." Well, according to Mandela, the Plainsmen of the early years, we didn't lose a game, but there was a ton of learning going on. With the addition of countless winter practices in the huge Crocus gym or on the artificial turf in the fall and spring, the team building via the rock inside thing that we did with our players, supporting players as they tried out for and participated in other teams, the team awards we gave them, the wind-up event, and so on. The culture of the program took shape, and the players formed a close connection with each other. As coaches, we knew that most high school teams, including ours, had a handful of key players who were involved with AAA, senior, or provincial team programs. And that the key to success at the high school level was to focus on developing as many pitchers as we could, improve the hitters in the second half of the lineup, and focus on taking care of the ball on defense. Sound familiar? Obviously, these are keys to success for any team. However, a lot of our players were not always given the opportunities on past teams to perform. Ultimately, it's gratifying to witness how people respond when you show faith in them by giving them an opportunity to play and to contribute. There are 4 guys up here, there are 5 guys that are great examples. Evan, Keith, Jordan, Brent, Brock, you know, they were given opportunity in our program and they really flourish. I'd like to mention at this time that one of our team members in the 05-06 team is currently in hospital in Red Deer, battling a serious illness. Justin, our thoughts and prayers are with you. We will get you your trophy, sir. I'd like to acknowledge the many educators from around the province who are also baseball coaches back in the day. Some of you are here. People who lobbied the Manitoba High School Athletic Association for our sport to become an officially sanctioned high school sport. Believe it or not, it's a big deal. These efforts were rewarded in 2005 when the Brandon School Division hosted the first MHSAA championship, and we were fortunate enough to win that tournament. School baseball program can be an outstanding environment for players to play and develop skills outside of, but in collaboration with community programs. I'd like to thank media outlets, CKX and CKLQ Radio and the Brandon Sun, which provided our teams then and still provide now outstanding coverage of high school baseball in the Westman region. Big shout out to Mike Jones, James Shawada, Ted Wyman, Ty Trace, and Dave Larkins. They all contributed greatly to the exposure and the growth of our sport. So many players and teams have benefited from their tireless and often thankless efforts. We thank you. Finally, thank you to Dan Giesbrecht and the Hall of Fame committee members for all of your efforts that culminate this evening with this great event. It was an interesting conversation that I had with Dan back in November, when he first contacted me with the news that our team is going to be inducted. His name didn't really connect with me, happens. So he then went on to explain that he was the coach of the Winkler team that beat us in the 2004 provincial final in Brandon. Well, the therapy up to then was working, and I had a bit of a slip. Anyway, that brought back some not so pleasant memories. I have a couple of players here, including Matthew, my son, who to this day still believes his old man made a bad coaching error that day. We don't talk about it often, but he might be right. We'll never know. But Coach Darren and I, we believe that losing that one helped motivate us for the next 2 years, winning in 06, 05, and 06. In closing, I was working with some basketball officials at a game at the University of Winnipeg in January. I was stationed up high on the track, right behind Crocus, I think, above the bleachers, taking some video clips, which we could analyze later and discuss in a post-game conversation. Randomly, a young man walked by, stopped, and he asked me what I was doing, so I explained. He commented that it was nice to see the officials receiving feedback in order to improve, kind of like a team. I agreed. He then stated, if you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. I found this really simple philosophy, which was so unsolicited, random, to be quite profound. So I've shared it on a few occasions since then. And one can apply this thought to our Crocus baseball team, which had many successes. And the thing is, we definitely did it all together. It was a real team experience for which we are all truly grateful to be a part of. Thank you so much and enjoy the rest of the evening.